Today we have a 2012 Volkswagen EOS here in the shop. This has a problem we haven't seen before. We have the band button is stuck down. The customer mentioned that this happened after they replaced the front windshield. So we're going to get the stereo, show you how to take this stereo out of the vehicle, get it up the shop and take care of this one. We're going to start with our pry bar, and we're going to pry the bottom edge of the trim panel that goes around the car stereo and the AC controls. As you pry around the edges, these clips release. There are several clips that go into the sides of the panels here and so on. These all release with a little bit of pry pressure. You may have to pry across the center as well. Once this panel is off, it's going to access 4 Torx screws that secure the radio into the dash. We're going to remove these 4 screws so that we can get access to the back of the radio, get it out of the dash. We have a full library of removal guides on our website. See our website if you need other help other than the Volkswagen EOS. We have a full library of removal guides there for help on everything, along with some do-it-yourself repairs. Once these 4 screws are removed, this is going to allow you to grasp the front edge of the car stereo and pull it out of the dash. This is going to give access to several connectors, or one main connector, and 3 antennas here on the back of this one. This connector has a trigger on it, lifts up the latch and allows it to release from the back of the radio. The antennas here all have little triggers on them that you squeeze down to release the small lock on it. These can be a little bit tricky at times. There we go, and these are color coded, so there will be no problem with where these go back into the vehicle or back onto the radio. We have a little white trigger on the side of this. We're going to push it in with our Torx head here to allow the antenna to release. Okay. Pull up and then you push it down. There you go. Okay, looks like that's one we're going to have to work on there. The main big white connector here has a trigger right on the top edge of it here that we're going to squeeze down into the connector. Give a little bit of slack on the again, these can't always be as simple as they look. Now we have the last one here. It looks like we have to lift the trigger on this one to get the trigger to lift up and over. Maybe we're going to need a small flathead screwdriver to help open up that There we go. Now these were difficult. This one did have the blue one had a lift trigger to release. Usually this white component here is supposed to help you lift the connector up so that it will release, but that did not work that well on this one. We also have the green antenna here that when you push down on the trigger, you can see how it lifts the internal piece. This releases it to go over the lock. The other antenna connector as well has one trigger here on the top, and when you push that down it lifts the lever and allows you to unlock it. Now the main connector is a little bit tricky. It's going to be in the back of the stereo in this mode, and at the very bottom of it here at the back we're going to squeeze this small tab in at the bottom, and this is going to allow the see here. Now we have the tab at the bottom. You squeeze it down and it pulls the arm up and around, and as that arm pushes up and around, it pushes the connector out of the back of the stereo because of the grooves on the side. Now to reinstall this connector, you have to have this arm in the all the way up position so it mates up with some tabs, and as it goes in and you pull this back down, it pulls the connector into the stereo. This is how you remove the stereo from a 2012 Volkswagen EOS. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe and thank you for watching.